Today, we're going to be discussing curcumin, which can be a confusing topic for many consumers because of the many forms claiming to be the best and how it differs from turmeric. I'm going to start by quickly describing what curcumin is, why it's valuable as a supplement, and why we think BCM-95 is the best curcumin to take. Although curcumin was first isolated from turmeric over 200 years ago in 1815, it's only in the last 30 or so years that research with curcumin as a dietary supplement has taken off. I'm your host, Carl Pradelli, and I'm also the CEO and co-founder of the company, having started NatureCity over 20 years ago with my wife, Beth, and since then it's been our privilege to have served over 500,000 Americans by offering them the best supplements we can make. Today, we're going to be discussing curcumin, which can be a confusing topic for many consumers because of the many forms claiming to be the best and how it differs from turmeric. I'm going to start by quickly describing what curcumin is, why it's valuable as a supplement, and why we think BCM-95 is the best curcumin to take. You may be familiar with the bright yellow turmeric spice, which is from the root, or more accurately, the rhizome of a plant in the ginger family. In addition to being a popular culinary spice, turmeric has been used for centuries in traditional medicine in India and East Asia. Turmeric has many nutritional compounds along with essential oils that can help our bodies in many different ways. The strongest of these compounds that scientists believe have the most bioactivity are three polyphenols that give turmeric its yellow color. These three compounds are curcuminoids, which are collectively referred to as curcumin. Curcumin works in the body through several mechanisms, with the most important being how it supports a healthy inflammation response. This is its main property and a very important one. Maintaining a healthy inflammation response is often associated with joint health, but it pretty much impacts all the key functions and systems in our body as we age, which is why many consider curcumin such a valuable supplement. Although curcumin was first isolated from turmeric over 200 years ago in 1815, it's only in the last 30 or so years that research with curcumin as a dietary supplement has taken off. The idea was, since turmeric only contains about 5% of the powerful curcumin compounds, if it was isolated and made into a supplement, it would be an easier and more convenient way to ingest meaningful amounts of curcumin. Sounds good, right? Well, sometimes we forget how smart Mother Nature is in designing plants. It turns out when you strip curcumin from the turmeric, our bodies don't digest it as well, and the rate of absorption and bioavailability goes way down. So you're paying for and taking all of this curcumin, but only a small fraction is making it into the bloodstream where we need it. This was the catalyst for what a friend of mine called the curcumin wars, as numerous companies rushed to develop delivery systems to enhance curcumin absorption. The cleanest, in our view, the best solution came from the makers of BCM-95, which is a company called Arjuna Natural. They discovered that by reuniting curcumin with essential oil from turmeric, the absorption of curcumin increased by about 700%. I believe one study found that it took about 2,500 milligrams of regular curcumin to achieve the blood levels from taking just 400 milligrams of BCM-95, which is quite an improvement. And the beauty of this approach is everything is from the turmeric plant. You're not introducing outside additives or bioenhancers, which may have drawbacks. By just using curcumin and essential oil from turmeric, it's as clean and natural as you can get, in our opinion. BCM-95 has over 50 patents protecting this innovation. This means other curcumin suppliers had to find a different method other than using turmeric oil. You may be familiar with another way of enhancing curcumin absorption using black pepper extract. If you're curious, in a head-to-head study, BCM-95 was found to be superior to curcumin with black pepper extract in terms of absorption and bioavailability. Now, I'm not here today to bash black pepper extract as a bioenhancer, but something to be aware of is it can also affect the metabolism of medications and other supplement ingredients you take, speeding up or decreasing absorption. This concern becomes magnified if you're taking multiple products with black pepper extract, so it's something we urge folks to consider. Since BCM-95 appears to work better, to us it makes sense to eliminate this concern altogether and just use the all-turmeric approach of BCM-95. It's also worth mentioning that BCM was the first and perhaps still the only enhanced curcumin to go through comprehensive safety and toxicology testing, the results of which were published in the journal Molecular Medicine Reports. Also important, BCM-95 has been the subject of over 90 studies and research papers examining potential benefits as well as safety. This is more than any other enhanced curcumin ingredient, and the library of published research grows each year. As you can see, the makers of BCM-95 have invested a lot to make it the premium choice for curcumin supplements. And this quality commitment starts with how they source the turmeric and extract the curcumin. The ideal conditions for growing turmeric is a frost-free climate that gets plenty of rain, but in soil that drains rapidly. You'll find these conditions in northeast India, which is why this region is known for producing the finest turmeric plants. The turmeric in BCM-95 comes from this region. Since turmeric is such an important crop to this region, the locals use eco-friendly and sustainable practices, which they've been using for many generations. The local farmers are very careful about the organic farming techniques they use. You won't find pesticides or harsh chemical fertilizers on these farms that are used to make BCM-95. Instead, they strictly use natural fertilizers like animal manure and repurposed turmeric roots, rhizomes, and leaves. And most of this work is done by hand with very little machinery. Arjuna, the maker of BCM-95, is committed to paying these farmers reasonable, competitive prices for the crops. We're sometimes asked why BCM-95 isn't certified organic, and the reality is it would be very hard and financially challenging to ask all these small farms to get USDA certified organic certification, even though they do all the right things and use organic practices. Lead and heavy metal content of curcumin and other herbal ingredients is a concern for many consumers, and rightly so. Each batch of BCM-95 is tested for heavy metals using lab equipment that can detect even minute quantities of heavy metal substances like lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury. Typically, the levels of these substances in BCM-95 is so low that they are barely detectable by this sophisticated equipment. That's another plus for using BCM-95. We're going to pause here and follow up in next week's episode by discussing some of the key scientific findings from the research of BCM-95 and the benefits you may experience from using the BCM-95 curcumin turmeric ingredient. To find out more in the meantime, you can check out our True Curcumin product page at NatureCity.com. True Curcumin is made with BCM-95 since we first introduced it, which I believe was about 16 years ago. So that's it for this week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to see future episodes, or listen to us on your favorite streaming service or on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. This is Carl Pradelli, and I'll see you next week.